Greetings everybody. Welcome to another sesh of Not the Norm. It's 2:05 PM on the 30th of the 4th 2020. Coming to you from out of Nelson, top of the South Island, New Zealand. We've just been released out of our lockdown, down to level 3. Things are getting back to normal. I think a lot of the fear that was put upon the country by our leaders is dissipating, and people are starting to come out of their shells a wee bit and start to look around them and realise that there's other things going on. So we need realise, see the real lies, and then we have real eyes. That's how that works. But today I'm going to go over a little bit about that word there, because that word there incites a lot of people. It's a very insightful word, that word. Okay, it's very insightful, and a lot of people get a little bit confused about this word, and it upsets a lot of people. So we're back here on the smorgasbord of truth. I should change that date up there. Anyway, this is the smorgasbord of truth. Do you know why it's called a smorgasbord? It's more gas aboard your ship. See, it's more gas aboard your ship. Lots of truth to empower you, to drive your sails, so you're not dead in the water in a lullaby. Remember, as I said, we're all getting into this stuff through the spells that are being cast through the words, the phonics, the letters, which are signs, which are ciphers, which is code. Okay, we need to start looking at the keys for the codes to the cipher, so we don't end up in the lullaby, dead in the water. Do you see how that works? That's how that works. And so that word there is very insightful. Very, very insightful, that word. And what's happening is we're getting into all sorts of trouble over it. Okay? What's happening is it's getting us out of the world of the living. And a lot of raru-raru, a lot of fighting, a lot of argument, a lot of discord, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of division. It's a very divisive thing. That's why I started with that particular meme there. The old Eskimo asks, if I did not know about God and sin, would I go to hell? No, not if you did not know. Then why did you tell me? You see how that works? Is ignorance bliss, do you think? Do you think ignorance is bliss, folks? Don't think so. Here's another little thing for you. I don't know whether you've seen this before, but the Vatican actually has a observatory and telescope by the name of Lucifer. It's one of the largest telescopes on Earth, or it was when this particular meme came out. I'm not sure whether it still is. It gathers more light than the Hubble telescope, the Hubble Space Telescope, with 10 times the resolution at the time. They've called it Lucifer. The Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. Okay? So, you know, your gods are supposed to be at the top of this, aren't they? This religion. This God. No wonder it incites people. No wonder it incites people. Because we're getting into all sorts of misdirection. Now I can't see that, sorry. Now I redefine that word for you. Okay? So it can take a lot of the tension out of the sound of that word and the announcement and pronouncement of that word. Okay, if you just look upon that as your gift, of divinity. It's pretty simple stuff. You've all got it. You can exercise it, choose to recognize it, deny it, ignore it. It's your choice. And choice is a beautiful thing, because that's one of the things we were given, is choice. And again, this word can incite or it can incite. That's entirely up to you. Ultimately, if it incites you over here, it will lead to that. And again, what that does, again, knowledge is power. Knowledge is the power, because it's the knoll on the edge. Remember that? Knowledge. Knowledge is power. Get a grip on it. The knoll that's on the edge that can see farther. You've got to get out of that stuff and start waking up a little and realising that we've been spellbound for a long time with all these words and phonics and vowels and signs and symbols. Symbols, again, is a sound, isn't it? This stuff is sound. And if it rings true, then take from the smorgasbord and food for thought. This is all food for thought. That's all it is. Take from it what your palate desires. Because palettes, artists use palettes too, don't they? Consider this to be the paint, if you like, of your palette. And we get into all that. I'll cover that? I didn't write that down there. I thought I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Well, we'll do that again then. Oh, no, we do that there with the pen. And with the pen, there's a cell. Remember how we did that? I did that in my last video. Pen is a cell. A chicken pen. Just think chicken pen or pig pen. It's a cell, okay? It gets you into contract, that pen. Creates 4 corners, in fact, which is a frame. It can frame you, that pen. When you put your thought into ink, you might sink. But I'm going to teach you how to swim, and you can drink of that knowledge. In the now, giving you the ability to respond. The responsibility to say no. Node, no. Done. Simple. Very easy. So that's how it works. So that word there, again, that word there, very powerful word. But we can diffuse that word by simply defining it as a gift of divinity, which you all have. Okay? Now you guys out there, you know, when I said with that one there, because religion is a cult. Remember what religion was? That book there? That's a religion. Okay? That book there is a type of religion. But that also is a religion over here, did you know? Because they have a god. And their G-O-D is gold, oil and drugs. That's what their god is. Sorry about that. I just realised my door's open. So that's what their god is. Okay? Gift of divinity. But theirs is gold, oil and drugs, folks. That's their god. And that's their book. That's what they book you with. That's what they bind you with. The book that they bind you. And get you back over into here. Into the legal fiction, the person, the corporation. Remember, it's a Latin word, corpse, oration, the dead speaking. You have no hearing over here. They call it a hearing. They say they give you a hearing, don't they? When you're caught. But you're actually silent because someone else is there representing you or trying to. But unfortunately, they've crossed the bar as well. And so they're also bound by the sea and that book over there and that law. Okay, that's a religion. This religion is to rebind. I'll go over that again, the religion. Okay, the re is to do again. Legion is to bind. So it binds you twice. It binds you twice. You don't want to be bound, folks. You don't want to be bound, because then you're back in the sea again, and there might be a charge, and you'll think it's fine with your ticket. When they section you, they put you in the dock, and you're booked at the bar. You see that? That's how that works. That's all spells and spelling. It's what happens when you're caught. You've got to learn about those objections, because objections stop the ships in the sea, the vessels. I found my red pen too. So yeah. So we've got to get back and start redefining some of these things and start revealing the underlying messages that are going on here. And there's lots of them. There's lots of them. Hopefully you might have seen some of my other videos by now. Give you a bit of idea, but this is the stuff we've been going over, all the spellings, which are the ciphers, the codes. You have all sorts of codes. And there are codes in that book. That's right, there are codes in that book there. Codes to live by, and there are codes in there too, aren't there? It's all been codified. Codes to live by there. Rules and regulations to be governed by over here. Remember government? Remember that? Remember how that worked again? Government, 2 words, Latin, governare, and ment meaning mind. Mind control. Governare means control, folks. Government's mind control, okay? Over here is all about your T's and C's. All about your T's and C's, your trackings and your controls, your terms and your conditions. Okay, there's codes in there, but they're easy ones. These are really simple. Those ones there are really, really simple to live by. And it's the law of the land. It's common law, and it can be expressed in 3 simple words: do no harm, or do unto others, or live and let live. And it's encompassed in all religions, as don't kill, don't steal, and don't deceive. And that's how it works. That's how it works. But unfortunately, we're getting from this world here, off the land, and over into the sea. And we're drowning over here because it's unfathomable. We're in the water. We don't know how to swim there. We need to be represented over there. That's how that works. See? And so we get back to the gift of divinity. Everyone's got it. But there are many gods. I'll show you how that works. I'll show you how silly that is. I'll show you how silly that is. There are almost 5,000 gods being worshipped by humanity. But hey, don't worry. Only yours is right. You see how that works? See, that religion binds you again, all right? Not only does it bind you there, but it binds you into division. It binds you into division. Religion is binding you into division because it separates you. Division. Remember, it's a numbers game. I always tell you, it's a numbers game. You got your division, above and below. It's divisive, just like all this is. Just like all this is. It's divisive by its nature until you start to learn to de-spell things. And then you can get down to the truth. Because we all like the truth, don't we? Because truth's at the heart of the matter. And home is where the heart is. We like to get to the heart of the matter and the heart of the truth. Home is where the heart is, folks. You see how that works? That's how that works. Remember I told you? This is what that is. It's what you are. Little vessels. Little vessels out on the high seas. And it doesn't matter what one of those 5,000 odd gods you want to idol, lies. Do you hear? Idol, lies. Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian. Muhammad was not a Muslim. They were teachers who taught love. Love was their religion. That is what they were trying to wake you up to. Okay? And these religions, all those religions, mate, they're just going to divide you. Keep you divided. Keep you divided, folks. Remember that? Remember that? That's how that works. So we're going to have to do a bit of research, aren't we? And research just means to research again, to search again. Because when we do some research, we have respect. Research is an interesting word if you look at it, because again it tells you what's going on. There's an arc, the sea, to do again, to arc of the sea again, is it? It's to search. To respect, to do again, to spec, to view things again, to look again. Okay? To review, to look twice. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, folks. Learn, you earn it. It's to each and their own. It's putting less on you because it's raising you higher on the rung of your knoll, of your knowing. Yeah? Your ability to say no. So you can see farther. And therefore, you have the ability to be able to respond with information, inform your nation, and with your measures, because it's to assure me, with your measures, whether it rings true. Because sounds ring true. Okay? And when you're speaking truth, and talking truth, and projecting truth, and communicating truth, those who have the ears will hear. Those who have the eyes will see. You see how that works? Again, truth gives us affirmations, it affirms things, gives us good standing on solid ground. It's solid. It's not shaky ground. It's not water. It's solid ground. Again, to get her, remember I've said this to you before, to get her, together. To get her, who is she? Oh, she's Papatua Nuku. She's the earth we stand on, with our feet firmly planted, with our heels and our soles. You see that? With our soles of our feet on the earth, brings us our breath, and our life is the earth. And the interesting thing about this character here, and all those other ones, I'll just let you have a look at that while I just change the meme here. There's this thing here. Now, we're all told we come from the earth, don't we? Or is it the dust? Is it the dust we come from? The Adam, the Adama, the first race, isn't it? Atum. Atum was the Egyptian. Created himself from a mound of dust. And in science, we have the carbon atom. Now, there's been a bit of talk about this carbon atom, atom. And again, scientists say we're all made out of the dust, which is carbon, which has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. So does that make us the beast? Isn't the number of the beast 666? What's that telling us? In religion, we have Adam, the first man, made of the dust, and we shall return to the dust. So again, with words, and with different applications and context and nuance and frequency and tone, depth, volume, can all have incredible layers of meaning built upon each other, built upon the sounds which are conveyors of energy. You see how that works? That's how that works, folks. It's pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Now science. Science is another religion, isn't it? And with all religions you'll find this to be the case. No religion is immune to the infection of politics and the corruption of power. See that? And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't believe in God, I'm not religious, and yet you're using a language that is filled with gods. It's filled with gods. Aten for attention. I mean, you know, El and Enlil, Enki. Horus is in the hours. You see the hours, the Horus? Horus is in the hours. And Set, another Egyptian god. So there's all these gods built into our language. Because remember again, it's all cipher. This is all cipher and signs that you decode. When you read them in the past tense, you're read, aren't you? Are we back in the blood and the vessel and the cup again? The blood cell. Are you being vain? Better get your artery out, your artillery, eh? Because there might be a bit of assault and battery going on. Something's on sail. We're at sea in the currents. And there's an ark. There's your ark of the covenant, of the code, of the gnosis. Remember, this is gnosis that I'm revealing to you here. These are the deeper layers of the spells which work on your being, on your be-reth and your be-earth and your being, even though they try really hard to get you to be ill, don't they? They want you to be ill and not recognise the sign, the signatory. They give you a note and call it tender. And dollars are pain, it's a Latin word. Again, go and look it up. Here's another thing too, folks. Again, I'll remind you of that. And that applies to anything I'm telling you as well. You know, that applies to anything I'm telling you. It's caveat emptor, folks. Buyer beware. Let those that be deceived be deceived. If I'm giving you all this nice apples, but really they're lemons, and you go and buy them all and get a sour taste in your mouth, then more the fool you. Let those that be deceived be deceived. But again, I'm pretty solid on my ground, because for me, I've done my research. My ark at sea. I'm no longer adrift in the currents of the sea, selling on sale and sold to the highest bidder. Not me, my friends, not at all, because I can dispel what they're saying. And you can too now. You will be able to too. Once you know this stuff, you can't unknow it. And that's the beautiful thing about knowledge. You can deny it. You can ignore it again. But knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge is power. So if you ignore it, you're disempowering yourself. And that's where ignorance is. Ignorance disempowers you. And this is why we get into these situations, into the land of the dead, where possession is only 9/10 of the law. You don't have, over here in fact you have unlimited liability. Over here you've got limited ability to lies. Because again, you're stepping out of the present and not presenting yourself as the present, which is the gift. Remember the gift? I thought I'd written that one out. Remember the gift from my moonlight video I did? A gift is a gamete, intra-fallopian tube. It's a gift. Gamete, intra-fallopian tube. Gamete means from going to from one state to another. Usually from a poor state. Remember state of mind? When we talked about state, what state are you in? Oh, it's your mental state, isn't it? But anyway, so gamete, from going from one state to another state, from poor to wealthy, for example. Okay, gamete, so to move. Inside, fallopian tube. Fallopian tube. So we're back to birth again. And back to birth. Hey, back to the birth again, the gift. So this is a gift. And I give it to you freely. Because its time is now. The timing is now in the cycle. It's a circle of a revolution that evolves and revolves. It's going round and round. Actually, that's the wrong date there. I should change that. What is the date? I said it was the 30th today. 30th today. So as you can see, folks, obviously I'm just going to do my YouTube. I'll upload this onto YouTube, obviously. You'll see it on Facebook as well. But I'm trying to drive people to my YouTube page anyway. So that's what's going on there. So I can't at the moment do any feedback, live. I can't get any live feedback from you guys, so I apologise for that. At some stage we'll be able to get there though. So where were we? Keys, gift. Oh yeah, giving. So yeah, I give this to you. I give you this gift because this will birth your knowledge, and it will spark, and there will be an arc. And sometimes it might hurt because that's what they measure it in. The frequency. The frequency is the comfort. We like frequent things. We get into comfort. We get into the comfort zone, don't we? The comfort zone, and it reassures you. The frequency of the wave. But watch out, folks. Because that breeds complacency. And then you can be complacent at sea and you'll get caught in the water again. The lullaby. You'll be where there's no wind. You'll have no voice and you won't be able to move your ship, your vessel. You won't be able to move your vessel in the sea, and you will drain your vessel. You will draw. It will be drawn. Do you see how that works? It'll be drawn and you'll become insolvent and liquidated because your banks will have ruptured. Remember how I covered that? I'm trying to stay around this word here because this is what the insight's all about, and a lot of confusion out there. A lot of the cons that have been fused over here in the world of the dead, the deeds. The deeds, folks. The legal fiction, the corporation, the entity that's created at birth, and your birth, your being earth. The cons, piracy, remember? Bunch of cons, piracy, rape, pillage and plunder. That's what piracy is under their construction. We need to do a bit of destruction of this, folks. And that's why I'm giving you instruction. See that? To restructure the framework of the state of your mind. Because again, I'll tell you, if you don't mind, it won't matter. And if it doesn't matter, well, it doesn't mind, does it? It's mind control. And this is a computer term too. Again, I'll show you again how that works. You've got your monitor. It's monitoring you with programs. That's what it does. It's a monitor with programs that you download as thought. And if it's gigo, which in computer terms is garbage in, garbage out, that's what it is, folks. So if the programs that you're downloading, download, it's a heavy word, isn't it? Down and a load. You know, if you're downloading that stuff, then of course it's going to bring you down. But you need to take pause. You need to take pause of these things and to think about them and to sit with sight. Sit with sight gives you pause. And for me, I like to put thought into ink because the pen, it reveals. These symbols reveal things. They're codes. They're codes, folks. You've got to get that. You've got to realise that. You've really got to realise that, folks. This is all code. And it's the code, the digits, again, because it's a numbers game, remember? The digits of your code. Unfortunately, they've only given you half the information. So you can't be fully informed. You can't be fully informed if you've only got half the information. And that's why, you know, lessons, learning, to each is to teach. It's to each in their own. It's to each in their own, the ship. You know, own your ship, folks. Take control of your vessel. Become the captains of your ship, like I say. You know, the masters of your vessel, the captains, with your temples and your crown and your forehead and foresight. Unfortunately, they've got you all into headquarters over here. That's what they've done. They've profiled you, they've spelled you, and they've cast you. And when you're cast, you die. They put you in a die, in a coffin, because you're sick. You're not well. You're not well. Even though they say, welcome, well done. Is it really well? You know, they're draining your well. That's what's happening, folks. You're being drained, drawn and quartered, in fact. I think it's another shipping term, isn't it? Like mutiny. You want to start a bit of mutiny, folks. You want to start doing a bit of this, because that's what they call you. That's what they think of you. And that's how they treat you. And one of the tools that they're using is this device here. Religion, to bind you again. To bind you again, folks. And you know, you'll sit round, and we all like to do this, don't we? We like to discuss in our Discord. We diss and we cuss and we con. And we verse, don't we? We con and we verse. We diss and we cuss and we con and we verse. That's what they've got us doing, folks. That's how easily we've been deceived. And as I say, you know, just let those that be deceived be deceived. Oh yeah, there's me fish. I've got 2 fish bowls swimming in a fish bowl, as the song goes. The con's in the verse, folks. And they're telling you, they've got to tell you. They've got to tell you in front of your face what they're doing to you. Because it's like this, folks. You know, if I say to you, in lovely flowery language, oh, I'm coming round to your house and I'm going to park up on your couch and eat all the food in your fridge, and then I'm going to take your TV set and your stereo and I'm going to throw it in the boot of your car along with your whatever, your lawnmower, and I'm going to drive out the driveway and take it. And you don't do anything about it. because you don't understand the language or comprehend what it is I'm saying to you, and you'll be afterwards left with that sour taste in your mouth again. Those old lemons. You're pretty used to that taste, I would think, by now. People, you know how many decades of government slowly siphoning off your wealth do you have to stop and realise that something's not right? And you all know there's something's not right. I mean, the data clearly proves it. The digital data, the numbers clearly prove it. We've got the numbers, folks. We've got the numbers. We've got the numbers. There is only one way out. We must unite. In unity, folks, because it's like that. It's no good waiting for someone else to do it. Nobody, somebody, and anybody. Hey, what about everybody? Everybody's thinking, oh, somebody will do it, and yet nobody's doing it. Anybody do it. Well, I have body. I'm sure I had body there somewhere. Oh, cool. Somebody. Anybody? Anybody out there? Was nobody home? Have you lost your body? You have, folks. You've lost your body. It's been commoditised, sold to the highest bidder. And that's what's going on. Period. Which again is a pause. Period's a pause, isn't it? Period's a curse, isn't it? Don't females they used to call the period the curse? The monthly? Anyway, another story there. So this is what's going on. We're all being divided, divisive. By design. It's all by design. All very cleverly organised and perpetrated by the Phoenicians, the seafaring race, with their phonics, their seafaring race, the law and the codes and the symbols and the signs of the water. And we're 80% water, aren't we? Or over 50% anyway. There's different figures or statistics out there. Again, figures. There's different statistics out there, folks. And in the science, you can make up the science to be whatever you want, can't you? Hey? You make up the science to be whatever you want. If you've got enough money, you've got enough one eye. You know, but again, you know, you don't think you're religious. You don't think you believe in a God. But you're all part of what's called a cult. You're part of a cult, folks. It's your cult. See, it's your cult. It's your cult. You know, you tell me you're not religious. You're all religious. You're all speaking in tongues. You're all speaking in tongues, folks. You're all bound. You're all getting booked on the bar and charged, getting ticketed and thinking it's fine in the dock, selling the cell as a battery. But you're the source. You're the source of that battery that's on sale and being sold. Because your little ark, your empowers your empowerment. They're draining you. They've got to tell you what they're doing. And these spells are what's getting you into trouble. The spelling, the casting of the die, folks. They're putting you into casts too, don't they? They call you a cast, don't they? And they cast you into the fires of hell. Remember? They're doing it through frequency, tone, tune, harmony, core of us, the core us, an accord, an accordance, accordingly. That's how they're doing it. That's how they're doing it. It's a frequency. And they're frequently doing it to you. So frequently, it's become a comfort. Having your ark drawn and courted and bankrupt. Remember the bankrupts? The bankruptcy? Remember the banks? Remember the banks and the currents on the banks on the sides of the river that control the currents that go to the sea, which is the money, the currency. You are the currency, folks. You are the currency. And, you know, you spend currency, don't we? What else do we spend? Time. Maybe you should reevaluate, remeasure what you're spending your time on. You know, because your time is the most valuable thing you have. Your time is the most valuable thing you have, and the most valuable thing you can spend on others. To earn and learn, and to put less on, and tuition and intuition. This is the gift, folks. That's the gift, because that stops the paper from being stationary. Once you've put thought into ink, the stationery is stationary no more. The paper is stationary no more. This is extremely powerful. The pen is mightier than the sword, folks, because this is what it's done. This is what it's done. It's got you over into the world of the dead. That's how powerful that pen is, folks. That's how powerful that pen is. Penitentiary. It can also bring you back over into here, folks. It can also bring those back to life. Let's raise the dead. Bring them back to the world of the living. And that means you. That means you doing that. But it's up to you, you know, how much it matters in your mind. If you want to get to the heart of the truth, which will bring you back home. That's pretty insightful, don't you think? The gift of divinity. You've got it whether you like it or not. That's how it is. We're only here for a short time. You know, you guys all go to your grave. This is a grave era here. Do you realise that? Do you see that's a grave era? It's a messy era because it's a mess age. It's a mess age. It's a messy age, folks, and it's an error, and it's a mistake. Okay? So we need to respect and review and research what's going on here. Hey, what's going on here? What kind of leagues or legacy are we going to be leaving behind, folks? And behind is to hinder, to be a hindrance. You got things in your past that are a hindrance? Have you been able to put them behind you? Or are you looking over your shoulder? Shh, it's going to make you older, folks. Somebody, anybody, everybody. Or is there nobody? The body of the law. Don't we talk about the body of the law? And the state that the law operates in? So when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do, folks. Because if you step out of line, you're fed to the lions. You see how that works? It's your state of mind, folks. Because there's a lot of mind control going on. And it's getting us into a state of fishmongering. Selling fish. Because we're, you know, when you are selfish, you listen to fear. When you're selfish, you listen to fear. Think about that. Write it down, because it's right. It's your right. Then you become the author of the right and the authority. And you might say, nah, it's not me. Why is it, nah, not me? We'll go into that a little bit later, actually. Why it's not me. It's not focusing very well, is it? Because it's not you, folks. It's actually not you, because these are characters. These are caricatures. They're little marks on a page. In the old days, you'd leave your mark, wouldn't you? X would mark your spot. These are conveyors of energy that you download, interpret, and regurgitate unquestioningly. I've told you about being in the quest. Ions contract, folk, because you're on it. You're an ion, aren't you? You're made of ions. 6 of them. Protons, neutrons, and electrons is your carbon makeup. You're 666. 666. Gosh, it's not focusing very well. For some reason. Sorry about that, guys. As king. So you want to be as king, folks. Captains of your ship. Masters of your vessel. The centerpiece is the mast. So we must stay centered. The mast is the middle of the ship. Well, sometimes there's 2 of them. Secondary mast to hoist the flags of the sea. Do you see, folks? That's how it works. Because remember, I told you that the English language is known as an equivocal language. The word equivocal is synonymous with duplicit, unclear, and vague. That's why the North American Indians said white man speaks with forked tongue. And words cast spells. Again, words are energy. It's energy that we're conveying in these symbols that we're decoding and downloading as our data. Our garbage in, garbage out. So this is what's happening. This is what's going on. You know, truth rings true. Truth rings true. And there's lots of stuff about, about these religions that are extremely questionable. Let me put it that way. Are extremely questionable. But there's also fundamental truths in there. Pretty simple ones. Don't kill, don't steal, and don't deceive. It's pretty easy stuff. It's pretty easy stuff. So, we're going to try and get out of this equivocal language that's divisive by its nature. Because again, like I've said to you before, there's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And a society is divided by a religion and government and science. Government's another religion. It's another religion, folks. It's another tool in the toolbox of control, of terms and conditions, of tracking and control. Once we start to incorporate this into our being, and we start exercising our voices and the power therein, then that will raise the dead on its own, folks. The power of your voice. It's funny how when we think, we go, Why do we do that? Because it's sound. And sound is a purveyor of energy. It vibrates at a frequency. And if the sounds and the vibrations and the frequencies that you're receiving are coded, then the message that you're getting is unclear. It's equivocal and it's duplicit by its nature. So we can clear up a lot of the mud in the water by realizing and dispelling, becoming masters of our ships and driving our own vessels with respect and research. Without these duplicit, nebulous caricatures and personas and signs and symbols and ciphers and codes. We need to start writing our own code, folks. We need to step outside of this government system, this religious government system, and saying, no, you can have your system. Good luck. You can have your system. You can have your system. Good luck to you. We need to start building the new one, folks. Resonating. That sounds good, doesn't it? Does it resonate with you? Because vibrations resonate. Truth resonates. We resonate, folks. We resonate. So now's your time. Now is the time is now. Get back to the heart of the matter. Truth's at the heart, and that's where your home is. Your home is you're standing on the land, folks. You're standing on the land together on solid ground, building foundational things with our voices together in a tune, in harmony, in a chorus, with kindness, intuition, love, compassion, empathy, understanding, realization, respect. And that will just dissolve all that. The veils of that are lifting and dissolving as we speak. They are dissolving by nature. That's what's happening, folks. That's what consciousness is. You are becoming conscious. You're becoming conscious of your true nature, the true sign of your nature. Which is that? That's what you are, folks. All of that is what you are. Okay? Remember again, Buddha was not a Buddhist, Jesus was not a Christian, Muhammad was not a Muslim. They were teachers who conveyed love. Their message was love. If you want to get back into religion, make that your religion. Because it is anyway. You already are religious, folks. You already are. The legions that you've been bound by for a long time are dissolving. We're at a very special time here, folks. We're at a very special time. There's no two ways about it. It's like that again. I've never met a Christian, a Muslim, an atheist, a Sikh, a Seventh-day Adventist, Mormon, liberal conservative, anarchist, socialist, Marxist, communist, libertarian, Hindu, Zionist, American, Briton, French, Icelandic, South African, German, Angolan. I've only ever met other humans. Or other... humans is a hard one. When you look at the humans, I've only met other beautiful, light, organically vibrating energy souls, some of whom have let themselves be divided by labels. The old ink splot, the old ink well, because you'll sink well, folks. Don't let these things divide us. We can't let these things divide us, folks, because we're on a paradigm shift. There's a paradigm shift happening, and at the moment, things are happening fast. In fact, it's kind of like that, really, at the moment, on a daily basis, but it's a beautiful thing, because the old world is falling apart, and we are the builders of the new world. That's how it is, folks. And that's how it is. So I'll leave you with that one. System's starting to crack, folks. Because underneath the sea is the land. We need to take control of our states of mind. Because when you mind, it will matter. Where thought flows, energy goes. We know these things. Frequency, power, knowledge. Speak your truths, speak it loud, and speak it clear. Speak it in unity, together in harmony, at the core of us. Right at the very core of us, folks. That's how it works. That's the only way forward, folks. You need to put the water under the bridge. Raise yourselves. Raise yourselves higher. on the rung of knowledge. Learn to give, and what a gift it is. Learn and give, because you can't take it with you, folks. You cannot take it with you. You're here for a glimpse, for a little glimpse, and you can't take it with you. Okay, so I'll just show you. Actually, I'll just go on to. So where are we? Oh, right, no, I haven't got it. So yeah, think positive thoughts, say positive words, do positive acts. You will become more positive, and those near you will become more positive of this. I'm positive. I didn't quite read that right, sorry about that. And I'm just going to plug. Alright, that one? No. Oh, that one. So yeah, there's me, that is me, Not the Norm YouTube channel. So yeah, please like and subscribe my videos. I'm going to probably do one every couple of days. Keep them under an hour so I can upload them to my Instagram channel as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, folks, I'll just leave you with that one. You know, we can't take any of the stuff with us, mate. We're the kaitiaki of the land. We're the caretakers, the guardians. We're supposed to be leaving this place in a better condition that we found it, and that's not happening at the moment. So we need to start getting up, raising our voices, and leaving a legacy that's worthwhile, folks. Leaving something behind that we don't have to look over our shoulder at. Or if we do, it's in pride. And then we can rejoice and go to the grave with a whole heart. With all the truth in the matter, and we can go home wholeheartedly, folks. So keep vibrating. Positivity, keep thinking, keeping your minds clean, folks. Think about what it is you think about. Because again, energy flows where thought goes. And you don't know how powerful you are. But you're becoming conscious of that. And that's a beautiful thing. Hey guys, love and light.